You're eating the same, moving the same, living the same. But suddenly, all the weight goes straight to your stomach. Your jeans feel tight. Your waist disappears. And no matter what you try, the belly fat refuses to leave. Here's the truth most women never hear. Menopause belly fat is not caused by overeating, laziness, or lack of discipline. It's caused by a powerful hormonal shift happening inside your body. When estrogen drops, cortisol rises more easily, insulin becomes harder to control, and your metabolism naturally slows. These changes force your body to store more fat around your abdomen, even if nothing in your lifestyle has changed. This isn't regular weight gain. This is hormonal belly fat, and it behaves completely differently. In today's video, you'll learn exactly why menopause causes belly fat, which hormones are responsible, and, most importantly, the doctor-approved steps to finally fix it without extreme dieting or exhausting workouts. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Estrogen drop: why your body starts storing fat differently. If you ever wondered why your body shape changes exactly around menopause, why fat shifts from your hips and thighs to your belly, it all begins with one hormone, estrogen. And when estrogen drops, your fat distribution changes almost overnight. 1. Estrogen shapes: where women store fat until menopause hits. In your reproductive years, estrogen naturally encourages fat to settle in: hips, thighs, buttocks. This pear-shaped pattern is biologically protective. It supports fertility, pregnancy, and hormonal stability. But as women enter perimenopause, estrogen begins to decline. And when estrogen drops, the body receives a new signal: store more fat around the abdomen. This is why the classic menopause belly forms, even in women who've been lean their whole lives. 2. Estrogen decline changes: how your body burns and stores fat. Estrogen helps regulate metabolism, fat burning, insulin sensitivity, inflammation, appetite hormones. When estrogen drops, metabolism slows. Less fat is burned during rest. Your body becomes less responsive to insulin. You gain weight faster, your appetite changes, you store more fat in the abdominal area. This shift is hormonal, not behavioral. You didn't do anything wrong, your hormones changed the rules. 3. Belly fat becomes the default storage zone. After estrogen drops, your fat cells behave differently. Fat cells in the belly multiply faster. These abdominal fat cells have more receptors that respond to hormonal changes. Belly fat becomes more active. It produces inflammatory chemicals that make weight loss harder. Your body becomes more sensitive to cortisol. This is why stress leads directly to belly fat after 40. Fat-burning hormones weaken. Your body becomes more resistant to fat loss, especially around the waist. Even if your weight stays similar, your shape changes because your fat redistributes. 4. Estrogen influences muscle mass, and muscle loss means more fat. Estrogen helps your body maintain muscle tone, strength, bone density. Low estrogen accelerates muscle loss, a key trigger for belly fat. Less muscle equals slower metabolism. Slower metabolism equals more abdominal fat storage. This is why women often say, "Even when I don't gain weight, I gain belly." It's the estrogen muscle metabolism triangle. 5. Estrogen drop disrupts sleep, which accelerates belly fat gain. Low estrogen causes night sweats, hot flashes, insomnia, restless sleep. Poor sleep increases cortisol, insulin resistance, and cravings, creating the perfect storm for belly fat. This creates a cycle: low estrogen, poor sleep, higher cortisol, belly fat. Belly fat, more inflammation, worse sleep, even more belly fat. 6. Estrogen effects: appetite, mood, and cravings. When estrogen is stable, it helps regulate serotonin, mood, hunger, emotional eating. When it drops, cravings intensify, emotional hunger increases, stress eating becomes more common, fullness signals weaken. This isn't lack of willpower. It's hormonal neurobiology. Estrogen decline completely changes how your body stores and burns fat. It shifts fat from the hips and thighs to the belly, slows your metabolism, increases cravings, affects sleep, and makes your body more sensitive to stress. Menopause belly fat isn't about eating more or moving less, it's about estrogen reshaping your biology. Understanding this shift is the first step toward fixing it. Cortisol and stress weight: why belly fat becomes stubborn. If your belly feels bigger on stressful days, or if even a little worry seems to make your stomach puff out, that's not your imagination. During menopause, your belly becomes extra sensitive to stress, and the hormone behind this is cortisol. 1. Cortisol is your stress hormone, but during menopause, it works differently. In your younger years, estrogen helped buffer cortisol. But when estrogen declines, cortisol rises faster, stress hits harder, adrenaline spikes more easily. Your body stays in alert mode longer. This hormonal shift makes your belly fat cells more reactive to stress than ever before. Even small daily stressors, traffic, deadlines, arguments, poor sleep, can trigger fat storage around your abdomen. 2. Belly fat has more cortisol receptors than any other area. This is why cortisol and belly fat are so closely linked. Abdominal fat cells contain 4 times more cortisol receptors than fat in the hips or thighs. So when cortisol rises, belly fat stores more quickly. Belly fat grows more stubborn. More fat is deposited in the abdomen. Inflammation increases. It's a hormonal magnet for fat storage. This is why stress-related weight doesn't show up on your arms or legs. It goes straight to your stomach. 3. Nighttime cortisol spikes make belly fat. Even worse, perimenopausal women often experience waking up at 3 a.m., trouble falling asleep, tired but wired feeling, restless nights. These symptoms are signs of cortisol peaking at night instead of morning. When nighttime cortisol stays high, insulin becomes unstable, hunger hormones shift, cravings increase. The body stores more visceral fat. Metabolism slows by morning. This is why many women notice belly fat expanding even when they aren't overeating. 4. High cortisol increases cravings, especially for sugar and carbs. Cortisol changes brain chemistry. It boosts appetite for sweets, bread, pasta, chocolate, salty snacks, comfort foods. Not because you're weak, but because cortisol temporarily raises blood sugar, then drops it again, making you crave quick energy. This leads to overeating during stress, especially in the evening. 5. Cortisol and insulin team up to store belly fat. Here's the dangerous combination. Cortisol increases blood sugar. Insulin tries to lower it. Insulin then signals fat storage. Belly fat cells respond first. Over time, this creates insulin resistance, stubborn visceral fat, slower metabolism, chronic inflammation. This is why high stress equals weight around your stomach. 6. Why stress hits harder. After 40. A few key hormonal changes amplify stress. Low progesterone weakens GABA, your calming neurotransmitter. Fluctuating estrogen increases emotional sensitivity. Low thyroid slows your stress recovery. Poor sleep raises cortisol. Blood sugar swings make cortisol spike faster. Your stress response becomes louder, and your belly fat becomes more connected to it. Cortisol is the reason menopause belly fat becomes so stubborn. With declining estrogen, your belly fat cells become more sensitive to stress signals, your cravings intensify, and even brief stress moments can lead to abdominal weight gain. This isn't psychological, it's hormonal biology. Understanding how cortisol behaves after 40 is key to finally losing belly fat that feels impossible to burn. Insulin resistance, the hidden cause of menopause weight gain. If you feel like you gain weight from foods that never used to affect you, if you feel hungrier, more tired after meals, or constantly crave sweets, or if the weight goes straight to your belly no matter what you do, the real issue may be insulin resistance, one of the most overlooked drivers of menopause belly fat. 1. Insulin controls how your body stores fat. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells. When insulin works well, your energy stays stable. Your metabolism functions smoothly. Your body burns fat efficiently. But when insulin becomes less effective, a condition called insulin resistance, your body starts storing fat, especially around the stomach. And the hormonal changes of menopause make this far more common. 2. Estrogen decline makes insulin less effective. Estrogen plays a major role in blood sugar control. Before menopause, estrogen keeps your cells sensitive to insulin, so your body can easily convert glucose into energy. When estrogen drops, your cells stop responding to insulin. Your body produces more insulin. Higher insulin equals more fat storage, especially around the belly. This is why even women who've been thin their whole lives suddenly develop belly fat in their 40s and 50s. 3. Signs of insulin resistance that most women miss. Many women don't know they're insulin resistant until their doctor points it out. Here are early warning signs: feeling hungry soon after eating, craving sweets or carbs, fatigue after meals, constant snacking, belly fat that won't go away, difficulty fasting, feeling shaky or irritable when hungry, dark skin patches, neck, elbows, increased thirst. These symptoms often appear before blood tests show abnormalities. 4. Insulin resistance encourages belly fat, and belly fat makes insulin worse. This creates a vicious cycle. Low estrogen, higher insulin. Higher insulin, more belly fat. Belly fat produces inflammatory chemicals. Inflammation, more insulin resistance. More insulin resistance, more belly fat. It becomes a self-feeding loop unless interrupted. This is why belly fat in menopause feels impossible to lose. Hormonal changes have rewired the system. 5. Insulin resistance increases cravings and emotional eating. When insulin is unstable, blood sugar spikes quickly. Blood sugar drops rapidly. Your brain demands fast carbs. Cravings intensify. Overeating becomes easier. This is not a lack of willpower, it's biology. Cortisol, stress hormone, also raises blood sugar, which further triggers insulin, fueling even more belly fat. 6. Insulin resistance slows your metabolism. When cells stop responding to insulin, the body stores more calories as fat. Muscle repair slows. Fat burning decreases. Fatigue increases. Metabolism becomes sluggish. Thyroid function becomes less efficient. This makes weight loss dramatically harder after 40. And if sleep is poor, insulin resistance becomes even stronger. 7. Why menopause accelerates. Insulin resistance. Several changes compound the problem: decreasing estrogen, lower progesterone, muscle loss, sarcopenia, higher nighttime cortisol, poorer sleep, slower thyroid function, more inflammation, less physical activity due to fatigue. All of these drive insulin resistance, even if your diet doesn't change. Insulin resistance is one of the most powerful and silent causes of menopause belly fat. It increases cravings, slows metabolism, encourages fat storage, and turns every meal into a struggle. But once you understand how insulin behaves during menopause, you can finally take the right steps to reverse the cycle and lose stubborn belly fat. Thyroid slowdown, the fatigue weight cycle. If you feel tired all day, cold more often, mentally slower, or like your metabolism isn't the same anymore, your thyroid may be behind your menopausal belly fat. Even mild thyroid slowdown, the kind often missed on basic tests, can dramatically increase abdominal fat. 1. Your thyroid controls your metabolism like a thermostat. Your thyroid produces two main hormones: T4, the storage hormone; T3, the active hormone that boosts metabolism. T3 determines how quickly you burn calories, how much fat you store, your temperature, your energy levels, how refreshed you feel in the morning. When thyroid hormones drop, even slightly, metabolism slows and belly fat accumulates. This can happen gradually and silently during perimenopause. 2. Estrogen fluctuations affect thyroid function. Estrogen helps manage thyroid hormones by supporting thyroid tissue, regulating TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone, helping convert T4 into active T3, maintaining iodine balance. When estrogen drops, TSH may increase. T4 to T3 conversion slows. More reverse T3 is created, inactive. Thyroid receptors become less responsive. This means your metabolism runs slower, even if your labs look normal. 3. Thyroid sluggishness causes fatigue that lowers daily movement. Thyroid hormones dictate your baseline energy. When they're low, you move less. Workouts feel harder, muscles recover slowly. Daily activity drops without noticing. You burn fewer calories throughout the day. This creates the fatigue weight gain cycle: low thyroid, less movement, slower metabolism, more belly fat, increased stress, weaker thyroid function. 4. Thyroid slowdown disrupts sleep, making weight gain worse. Thyroid hormones affect melatonin production and nighttime temperature regulation. Low thyroid causes trouble falling asleep, shallow sleep, waking frequently, feeling cold at night, waking up tired. Poor sleep raises cortisol, worsens insulin resistance, and accelerates abdominal fat gain. This cycle hits women in their 40s and 50s especially hard. 5. Thyroid function influences hunger, mood, and stress. Low thyroid hormones affect multiple metabolic systems. Slower digestion, bloating, constipation. Leads to discomfort and increased inflammation. Lower serotonin, low mood, carb cravings. Your body pushes you toward sugar for quick energy. Reduced dopamine, low motivation. Harder to stick to healthy routines. Higher cortisol, more belly fat storage. The thyroid and adrenal systems are deeply connected. This combination makes weight loss extremely difficult without addressing thyroid health. 6. Signs. Your menopause belly fat is thyroid-related. Many women experience thyroid symptoms long before diagnosis. Common signs: fatigue even after sleeping, cold hands and feet, hair thinning, dry skin, slower thinking, constipation, weight gain around belly, low mood, irregular periods, low body temperature. These symptoms become more common as estrogen declines. 7. Why thyroid issues become more common. After 40. Several midlife changes increase thyroid vulnerability, estrogen decline. Autoimmune risk increases. Nutrient deficiencies, chronic stress, poorer sleep, muscle loss, insulin resistance, inflammation. Even slight thyroid slowdown can produce big changes in weight and energy. Your thyroid controls far more than your metabolism. It affects sleep, energy, mood, cravings, temperature, and how your body stores fat. As estrogen fluctuates during menopause, thyroid function naturally slows, creating a perfect environment for belly fat. Addressing thyroid health is essential for breaking the fatigue weight cycle and finally losing stubborn abdominal fat. Muscle loss. After 40, the reason you gain fat faster. If you feel like you gain fat faster than ever, even when you're eating the same, the issue may not be fat at all. It may be muscle loss, one of the most powerful and overlooked causes of menopause belly fat. After 40, your body begins losing muscle automatically unless you actively work against it. 1. Muscle is the engine that burns your belly fat. Muscle is your body's metabolic furnace. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. At rest, during daily activities, during sleep, after eating, during exercise. But when muscle declines, your metabolism slows, even if your weight stays the same. This means fewer calories burned, more calories stored, faster fat accumulation, especially in the belly. A slow metabolism is often a muscle problem, not a fat problem. 2. Women lose muscle faster. After 40, even without changing lifestyle. This process is called sarcopenia, and it begins around age 35 to 40. Women naturally lose 3 to 5% of muscle each decade, up to 10% per decade after menopause. Even more if they sit a lot or sleep poorly. This automatic loss of muscle has nothing to do with diet or effort, it's biological. And less muscle means more belly fat, even if you're eating well. 3. Low estrogen. Accelerates muscle loss. Estrogen does much more than regulate cycles. It also helps maintain muscle mass. As estrogen declines, protein synthesis slows. Muscle recovery becomes harder. Strength decreases. Injury risk increases. Muscle tone drops. Fat replaces lost muscle. This creates the body composition shift that many women notice. Why do I feel softer even without gaining weight? Why does my belly look larger even if the scale barely moves? It's the muscle to fat ratio changing. 4. Muscle loss. Slows your metabolism even if you eat healthily. When you have less muscle, your resting metabolic rate drops. You burn fewer calories throughout the day. Your body becomes less responsive to insulin. Cravings increase. Fat-burning hormones weaken. This is why women say, I used to eat this and stay the same. Now I'm gaining weight so fast. The issue isn't the food, it's the reduced muscle mass. 5. Less muscle equals higher insulin resistance. Muscle acts like a sponge that absorbs blood sugar. The more muscle you have, the better your insulin sensitivity. When muscle declines, blood sugar rises faster. Insulin spikes harder. More fat is stored, especially around the stomach. This turns even moderate carb intake into belly fat. 6. Muscle loss makes belly fat more stubborn. With less muscle, workouts feel harder. Fatigue increases, recovery slows, motivation drops, strength declines. Calories burned during exercise decrease. You feel like you're working twice as hard for half the results. This isn't failure, it's physiology. 7. The hidden cycle, muscle loss, fat gain, more muscle loss. Here's the cycle most women fall into. Hormones shift arrow muscle, loss begins. Metabolism slows, belly fat increases. Extra belly fat increases inflammation. Inflammation further reduces muscle. Less muscle, even slower metabolism. More fat accumulates. This is why hitting your 40s or 50s can feel like your body changes overnight. Muscle loss is one of the biggest and most underrated reasons. Menopause belly fat appears and becomes stubborn. As muscle declines, metabolism slows, insulin rises, cravings increase, and fat accumulates faster around your abdomen. Understanding this helps shift the focus. It's not just about eating less, it's about rebuilding the muscle that protects your metabolism. The Fix, a doctor-approved belly fat strategy for menopause. You cannot fix menopause belly fat with the same things that worked in your 20s or 30s. Because this isn't regular weight gain, it's hormonal weight gain. Once you understand biology, the solution becomes clear, simple, and achievable. 1. Balance insulin starve. First, it's the fastest way to shrink belly fat. Insulin is the most powerful fat storage hormone in your body. To reduce menopause belly fat, stabilizing insulin is step 1. Simple ways to stabilize insulin. Eat protein with every meal, 20 to 30 grams. Limit sugar plus refined carbs. Prioritize fiber, 25 to 30 grams daily. Eat balanced meals instead of grazing. Avoid eating late at night. Choose slow-release carbs, oats, quinoa, lentils, sweet potatoes. Stable insulin equals less belly fat. 2. Reduce cortisol spikes, especially in the evening. Cortisol after 40 becomes more intense, more reactive, and more likely to store fat in your stomach. Evening cortisol calming habits. Stop caffeine after 2 p.m. Avoid doom scrolling at night. Dim lights 1 hour before bed. Avoid heavy, late-night meals. Practice breathwork or light stretching. Keep your bedroom cool. Lower cortisol equals fewer cravings plus less belly fat storage. 3. Rebuild muscle, the real fat-burning solution. You cannot lose menopause belly fat without restoring lost muscle. What works? Strength training 2 to 3 times per week. Focusing on large muscle groups, legs, back, glutes, chest. Slow, controlled movements. Bodyweight exercises if you're a beginner. Protein-rich diet to support muscle repair. More muscle equals faster metabolism plus reduced belly fat. 4. Prioritize sleep. Belly fat cannot burn without it. Sleep regulates cortisol, insulin, appetite, thyroid hormones, fat-burning pathways. Sleep habits that support fat loss. Consistent bedtime. Cold, dark room. Reduce screen exposure 60 minutes before bed. Magnesium-rich evening meal. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds. Good sleep equals better hormone balance equals visible belly fat reduction. 5. Support thyroid and metabolism. Your thyroid needs specific nutrients to function optimally. Thyroid-supporting foods. Iodine, seaweed in small amounts. Selenium, 1 to 2 Brazil nuts daily. Zinc, pumpkin seeds, shellfish. Magnesium, dark chocolate, leafy greens. A healthy thyroid keeps your metabolism efficient and belly fat lower. 6. Support estrogen and progesterone naturally. Menopause belly fat. Shrinks when your hormones stabilize. Gentle, food-based strategies. Flax seeds for estrogen balance. Fermented foods for gut hormone detox. Healthy fats to support progesterone. Cruciferous vegetables to clear excess estrogen. Hydration to reduce bloat and inflammation. Balanced hormones equals reduced abdominal fat storage. 7. Reduce inflammation to stop belly fat. Lock-in. Belly fat in menopause is inflammatory. Inflammation makes fat cells resistant to shrinking. Anti-inflammatory tools. Turmeric. Omega-3 rich foods. Reducing ultra-processed foods. Prioritizing vegetables and fiber. Walking daily. When inflammation lowers, belly fat becomes easier to mobilize. Menopause belly fat is fixable, but only when approached hormonally. By stabilizing insulin, lowering cortisol, rebuilding muscle, supporting sleep, and nourishing your thyroid and estrogen pathways, you unlock your body's natural ability to lose abdominal fat again. This is not about dieting harder. It's about working with your hormones, not against them. Conclusion: menopause. Belly fat is hormonal, not personal. Menopause. Belly fat is not a sign of failure, lack of effort, or poor discipline. It's the natural result of powerful hormonal changes, estrogen dropping, cortisol rising, insulin becoming less stable, thyroid slowing, and muscle gradually declining. Your body isn't working against you, it's adapting to a new phase of life. The good news is that hormonal belly fat can be reversed. Not with extreme dieting, endless cardio, or starving yourself, but by supporting your hormones the way your body now needs. By stabilizing insulin, calming cortisol, rebuilding muscle, prioritizing sleep, nourishing your thyroid, and reducing inflammation, you create the perfect internal environment for your stomach to shrink again. Every small change you make, one balanced meal, one walk, one strength session, one restful night, helps your hormones shift back toward balance. Your body remembers how to heal. It simply needs the right signals. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. If this helped you understand your body better, please like, subscribe, and share this video with another woman who deserves to feel confident again. Thank you for watching.